elections with live coverage from Barrow County. It's Mischief Night, and as residents of tomorrow's spooky holiday, we take a look at the weather in a haunted house focused on safety. And a look into a local football coach who is not only helping his team fight for victories, but also fighting cancer. All that coming up on Grady Newsource.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Early voting is underway in the majority of Northeast Georgia, including Jackson and Barrow County. Grady Newsource reporter Will Daughtry will have more on the Pendergrass City Council election. But first, Lindsay Bornhurst is live at the Barrow County Elections Office, where early voting is conducted. So Lindsay, tell us about how the polling is going.
Elections Office, where early voting started on October 17th and will go until November 3rd. Voters from around the county can come to vote in the Municipal General Elections Office. This ballot will also include a special T-SPLOST referendum.
That it is funny how people will come out for president or governor, but not for local candidates that impact their everyday life.
On the ballots for Winder, Statham, Bethlehem, and people will have the opportunity to vote for a mayor and at least one council seat position in their respective city. All citizens in the county will also be voting on a special T-SPLOST referendum that would increase the county sales tax by 1% for at least 5 years to improve transportation systems. Although there are nearly 60,000 registered voters in Barrow County, Franklin says only about 5% of them participate in local elections. Voters Linda and Lester Clack stress the importance of exercising their right to vote.
A lot of people don't even participate in that, and I think we should get out there and vote for the people that we think will do the best job.
God Binder says that he and his family enjoy early voting because of their tight schedule, with his wife being an emergency room nurse and having 2 young children.
We need more people to participate so that 50 people don't make the decisions for 15,000 people.
Citizens can find more information and sample ballots on the Barrow County website. For Grady Newsource, I'm Lindsay Bornhurst. This is the third and final week of voting. Next week on November 7th, voters can go to any one of the 16 locations throughout the county for Barrow Election Day voting. After the elections conclude and the polling offices close at 7 p.m., the elections office here will count up all the votes and announce the results as soon as they have them. That's all for me at the studio, Raven.
Thanks, Lizzie. And now Grady Newsource reporter William Daughtry takes a look at the Pendergrass City Council election featuring 4 candidates.
County, voters and candidates are heading into their last week of early voting. Pendergrass has 3 city council seats up for grabs, with 4 candidates running to fill in those 3 seats.
It makes sense that you want to have a council and a local government that cares about sort of a harmonious blend of keeping things as to small town, small city as possible.
Bonner is focused on the Pendergrass community's access to services, comprehensive planning for growth, and infrastructure investment. Josh Otten is not an incumbent, but is also focused on infrastructure.
And working with developers on private land sales and to set impact fees and design guidelines to help address the growth that we're seeing within Pendergrass.
Otten is focused on public safety and bringing an EMS station closer to Pendergrass. Like Otten, Sylvia Basak is another candidate running without previously holding office.
I don't want it to become overcrowded like Gwinnett. I left Gwinnett because it's overpopulated and it's a nightmare, and we don't need to be the same way.
Basak is also focused on public safety, most notably with the police department. She also believes there should be a communal place for gatherings and events geared towards children, with more families moving in. In an email from incumbent Gabriel Gomez, he says he will make sure Pendergrass grows responsibly, as growing too fast can affect current infrastructure. Aside from growth, his top 3 issues are traffic, affordable housing, and a diversification of amenities for everyone in the community. There have been 18 early votes for the Pendergrass election so far, roughly a 1% turnout. Voters have until Friday to get an early vote in, and the general election will be November 7th right here at Pendergrass City Hall. There are 6 city council seats, with 3 of them up for grabs this go around. Reporting in Pendergrass, William Daughtry, Grady Newsource.
President Biden is issuing an executive order today that lists new standards for the use of artificial intelligence. The executive order provides new standards for AI, such as ensuring that Americans have their privacy in store, creating more ways for diversity, protecting workers, as well as giving those the opportunities to be more creative and original, ensuring that the leadership from America is good across the world, and that the government is using intelligence in a positive, safe way. The Food Bank of Northeast Georgia is running its annual Hunger Bowl. Grady Newsource reporter Ben Patavina gives us a look at what the event is about.
Residents of Northeast Georgia are being encouraged to hunker down against hunger by donating money and food to the Food Bank of Northeast Georgia during this year's 10th annual Hunger Bowl. The bowl, which kicked off on October 20th, is a multi-county fundraising competition for the Food Bank of Northeast Georgia. The food bank currently provides service to 14 counties. But despite the competition, all donations go towards solving a pressing issue impacting many in the region.
This morning, 1 in 9 individuals woke up not knowing when or where they would receive their next meal. And as we think about a thriving community, we believe that starts with food, and we want to make sure that everyone has enough food every day.
Within the food bank's service area, over 65,000 people are currently facing food insecurity. 1/3 of those people are children. To date, the Hunger Bowl has raised nearly $18,000, and according to the bank's website, just $1 is enough to provide 3 healthy meals for those in need. People are encouraged to donate all kinds of goods, including dry goods, canned goods, drinks, and even non-food items. The Hunger Bowl will run until Friday, November 3rd. For Grady Newsource, I'm Ben Patavina.
With Halloween being tomorrow, it is a reminder to play it safe. Athens Clarke County Sheriff's Office threw a haunted house this past weekend where they gave out over 700 candy bags with safety tips for parents and kids to follow. Grady Newsource reporter Olivia Podes has more on how you can see those safety tips.
With Halloween coming up tomorrow, it is important to stay safe.
We have 740 approximate bags full of candy and safety tips to give out to kids. We are not out there just to lock people up. We do house inmates, but we're here to provide services to those who need them. And this is a way that we're able to give back to our community, to let them know how much we care about them and have a little fun in the process.
According to the Children's Safety Network, the most dangerous day of the year for children pedestrians is Halloween. On average, over 2 times as many child pedestrians die on Halloween compared to other days.
In the treat bags, they're going to get some safety tips for Halloween. But all these safety tips, Sheriff John Williams helped to put these together. They're going to be in their bags, and we're also going to put this on social media on Halloween as a reminder to parents. We want kids to have a fun, safe holiday.
Sheriff Williams says that building those relationships in his local community is very important to him.
Building those relationships is key to success. It doesn't matter whether you're looking from the business side or just the community or in the private sector. If you don't have good relationships with people, you're not going to be successful. So that's what I kind of strive for.
For more safety tips to follow on Halloween, check out the Athens Clarke County website. I'm Olivia Potus for Grady Newsource.
After the break, we look on how the Jackson County Correctional Institution has found success in counteracting the current trends of inmates being reincarcerated with Grady Newsource reporter Joe Copshaw.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. Alright, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
The Jackson County Correctional Institute has had some major success in reducing the recidivism rate and rehabilitating inmates. Grady Newsource reporter Joe Copshaw describes how the program works to solve a problem that has plagued the United States.
The United States has the highest prison population and one of the highest recidivism rates in the world. Nearly 2/3 of convicted criminals are rearrested. The Jackson County Correctional Institute recognized this problem and developed a program that would rehabilitate inmates.
I was used to throwing people in jail. That's what I used to get, I get hyped up for it. I used to love doing it. But things have changed, the world's evolving. And now I'm more on helping people be successful in life.
The goal of the transitional center is to help those in it set up their lives for when they get out, so that they don't have to return.
Inmates within the program work various jobs within the local government, and they make money within the structure of the Correctional Institute. The program focuses around providing inmates a small amount of freedom and building a routine by going to these jobs. That way, when they get out in 12 to 15 months, they already have a routine that they can do on the outside world. In this way, it builds rehabilitation of the mind, while the money they make from these jobs allow them to buy certain things such as housing and food, so that they don't have to resort to the life they had before.
The structure of the program has helped many, as former inmate Charles Henson gives thanks to the program for his new life on the outside.
I mean, they helped me save money, and they provided a structure that was needed to have discipline when you get out versus getting out and just doing what got me back, got me there in the first place. Indescribable. When you have everything taken away from you for a substantial amount of time, and then you get it back all of a sudden, you can't describe it worse. You can't put it in words.
Henson was even able to buy a home before he was released, and while that may be a lofty goal, according to Deputy Warden Minix, he is not the only success story of the program.
Our best estimate is we got about a 65% success rate. I wish I could say more, but when the average institution is running an 18 to 25% success rate, I'll take that 65 every day.
A Clark Atlanta University study found that participants of a transitional center program are 11% less likely than the general population to return to prison within 3 years. The Jackson County Correctional Institute has shown improvement on that number and continues to develop a program that is helping the county as a whole. Reporting for Jefferson, Georgia, for Grady Newsource, I'm Joe Copshaw.
The University of Georgia President Jared Moorhead just released the UGA 2023 annual report. The report stated that the university added nearly 2.5 million square feet of facilities on campus and renovated 1 million more. Academics were also highlighted, as UGA had the 16th place ranking in the U.S. News and World Report's 2023 list of the best public colleges. After several months of construction, we produced our first show from the newsroom. Grady Newsource reporter Aiden Coulter gives you an inside look on the place our reporters get to call home. After the break, Grady Newsource reporter Sailor Bates will have the forecast for Halloween night and the remainder of the week. You're watching Grady Newsource live at 5.
We get to be the first.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
You know, a lot of people say, when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, that's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Hi, we apologize for the mistake earlier. After several months of construction, we produced our first show from the new newsroom. Grady Newsource reporter Aiden Cutler gives you an inside look on the place where our reporters get to call home.
We get to be the first group to call it home. As our team trickles into the new newsroom after covering stories in surrounding counties, they put together their content right here for you to enjoy. I got here early to get the reactions of our team members as they walk through the doors.
Finally!
Hey everyone, I'm Joe Copshow. I'm the Grady Newsource producer for today, and we are finally in our new newsroom. And my favorite feature of it has to be that the open passageway to the producing room and the control room. It's really awesome. We're gonna have a glass door here eventually, but it's so cool to be able to freely move without.
Hi guys, my name is Sarah, and my favorite part about the newsroom is the LED screen. It'll be a great way to watch the new live show, so I'm really excited for it.
Hey guys, I'm Lindsay, and my favorite part of our new newsroom is the sound booths because it's so loud out here, but when I come in here, it's quiet and I can do work and record voiceovers.
Planning started as early as the spring of 2022, and the construction crew started knocking down walls this May. The project was funded by alumni, parents, and UGA industry leaders. This newsroom will be our hub for content creating for all of the stories you see here live at 5. Recording what you hear now from our brand new sound booths, I'm Aiden Coulter with Grady Newsource.
And now we will have a look at our 5-day forecast as well as what the weather should look like for a fun Halloween night tomorrow with our weather anchor, Sailor Betts.
Thank you, Raven, and good evening, everyone. I'm Sailor Betts. It's October 30th, 2023, and this is your Grady Newsource weather forecast. Taking a look at our local area of Athens and Northeast Georgia, right now it's sunny with a temperature of 80 degrees. You would have no idea that November starts this week, but that will change once we take a look at the week ahead. Today's high is 84, today's low is 57. Plus, there's currently no chance of rain overnight for your evening plans. The sun will set around 6:42 p.m. Looking ahead for your local 5-day forecast, there's a 20% chance of rain around midday tomorrow, but right now that's the only precipitation expected through the next 5 days. Now take a look at these temperatures, especially the lows. Tomorrow's high is 62, but we won't break 60 degrees again until Friday. Lows stay within the 30s and 40s, highs stay within the 50s and 60s. I've said it before, I'll say it again, folks. We are where Saturday Night Live calls sweater weather. Plus, that's ideal weather for tomorrow's Halloween holiday, whether you're bringing the kids trick-or-treating or convincing your neighbor that you are, in fact, 10 years old. Clear skies ahead for tomorrow night. Again, the 20% chance of rain midday tomorrow is the only precipitation expected. It will be 61 degrees at 5 p.m. That'll drop to 50 degrees by 10 p.m. Once again, the sun will set around 6:42 p.m. That's all for the weather, but after the break, we'll have Grady Newsource reporter Hadia Williams with more on the Falcons game, dogs on the field, and dogs on the court. You're watching Grady Newsource live at 5.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason. Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
With your sports updates. The Georgia Bulldogs beat the Florida Gators this Saturday and is preparing for the homecoming game next Saturday. Our volleyball team made a comeback, beating Mississippi State this past Sunday after their loss against Auburn on Friday. Jackson County High School's varsity competition cheerleading team won first place in a meeting this past Saturday with 20 points over Lakeside of Evans High. Their stunt performance was the highest of the year, receiving 41 of 47 points. The team will now head to sectionals this Saturday, November 4th. Georgia's men's basketball team opens the basketball season today with an exhibition match against the Eastern Kentucky Colonels at 6:30 p.m. Lastly, the Georgia equestrian team beat UT Martin 14-5 on Saturday at the Ned McWhorter Agricultural Complex. The Bulldogs will be off for 2 weeks before they close out the season with the meet against Oklahoma State on Saturday, November 18th. That's all for today's sports. After the break, we'll learn more about road construction in Barrow County, voting for the UGA homecoming court, and a coach who is recovering from cancer. For Grady Newsource, this is Hadia Williams.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Starting tonight, single-lane construction will begin on the State Route 316 westbound ramp in Barrow County between Harry McCarty and Harrison Mills Road. Construction times are 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Friday, and 8 p.m. Friday to 8 a.m. Saturday, 9 p.m. Saturday to 9 a.m. Sunday, and 9 p.m. Sunday to 5:30 a.m. Monday. Construction is scheduled to end December 29th, and residents are advised to take alternative routes. Grady Newsource reporter Alex Scott reports on the football team celebrating the final chemotherapy treatment for Jackson County High School football coach Chris Flower.
The Jackson County football team held a surprise celebration for special teams coach Chris Fowler. To show support, the Booster Club and the Jackson County High School football team organized a surprise celebration ahead of his last session of treatment at Northside Braselton Hospital.
But we were waiting, and then as soon as we saw his car pull up, we all got in a line. And just the excitement from everyone knowing that this is his last treatment.
In May of this past spring, Coach Fowler was diagnosed with stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. He underwent multiple different surgeries and has been having chemo treatments every other Friday for 6 months, a total of 12 treatments. The community of Jackson County High School has been a big help for Coach Fowler and his family. They provided meals for every weekend he had chemotherapy and even provided a backpack for him filled with books and other things to bring along with him.
Without the community and the support here that I've had at Jackson County, I can't imagine that going through something like this would have been as good as it has been.
Despite his advanced stage of cancer, Coach Fowler has not missed a single game or practice this season. He says that giving his attention to the school and football helped him keep some type of normalcy in his life.
It's just inspiring, really. Because the way he goes every single day, every single practice without telling, his attitude is incredible.
This surprise is one Coach Fowler says he will never forget. He says this whole process has given him a whole new outlook on life.
And so just reminding myself that, I'm not in the chemo chair today. Things aren't that bad. It's definitely enabled me to have a new perspective, a new outlook on things.
That's all for today, everyone. I'm Raven Alsterbrook with Grady Newsource.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
A lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know that